Alright guys, here we are again. I promised that I was going to be doing another NES classic from real hardware, and yes, you got it right. I'm gonna be playing some Double Dragon. I'm not gonna try to beat the game because this game kicks my ass. Oh yeah, in order to start the game you gotta press select. We're gonna take a look at the main game, the actual beat 'em up, to see how far I can get. Hopefully I can beat, I don't know, 2 or 3 stages. I will be just happy with that. I mean, this is a game that you have played or seen getting beat a million times on different versions, so you don't need me to try to beat the game. But I just want to see and prove myself a little bit, see how far I can get. And then gonna try the mode B, which is basically a fighting mode, which actually I never saw in action until recently. So I've seen it in action, again, never played it, to be honest. But I know the mode B is actually a fighting game that I would like to take a look at and see. So basically it would be like a one-on-one style, just like this one. My quote-unquote strat, again, it's not a strat because I mean, it sounds like I'm teaching you how to play when in reality I don't know how to play it very well myself. But from what I've seen, I think kicks are more effective than punches. Well, and weapons such as knives and whips. Actually, I don't have to go up. Well, I have done actually other versions of this game, mostly the arcade, which is the one that probably I have played the most, but it's very notorious for the slowdown. It got better graphics in theory than this, but in terms of playability, this one is better, I gotta admit. For the most part, I almost always show preference towards the original arcade versions rather than console counterparts or console ports. But there are a few exceptions. For example, Contra, Super Contra, or Super C as it was named on the NES, and the Double Dragon series. The first one, even though it's not a bad game, at least it's short enough so you don't have to suffer that much through it or for that long. The slowdown makes it, I wouldn't say unplayable, but it's not a great play. I also have played the Game Boy Advance version, which is basically like a remake with a few custom elements here and there. Yeah, Bobo is not gonna fall into the trap, but what I want to do is lure him down here, so, well, that was quick. That was much quicker than I thought, to be honest. Mission 2. Yeah, I'd rather wait until these guys throw the boxes instead of being aggressive and basically try to hit them before they throw the thing. It's kind of risky, way too risky. I don't have major problems with the first 2 stages. The third one is when things get complicated. Apart from stage 3 being much longer in the length itself. Yeah, it's a terrible idea trying to punch him, like I said. I think kicking is the way to go. I know there are extra moves and specific button combinations that you can apply. Honestly, I'm not super familiar with that, and I'm pretty bad at certain commands using a controller. Probably with a keyboard wouldn't be a problem, but well, you know how this is done. I'm trying to avoid emulation on computer as much as possible, and if I do play from an emulator, I will be still trying to use a controller now. I reached the point of getting really uncomfortable playing emulators of anything with a keyboard, especially having the systems now. Anyway, how are you guys? What's new? Oh yeah, I was talking about other versions of Double Dragon that I have played in the past, even on camera. Because I remember also doing Double Dragon Advance for the Roulette of Sadness. It was one of my first games in that series. Let's see for how long I can use this whip. Not anymore. So it's not just until you get it removed by getting hit, but it got a limited use. So here's the boss of the second stage, which basically looks like just a really generic, typical enemy. And you will see why in a minute. That was the second stage. I'm not sure if you get your energy, restored after each stage. Yes, you do. Like I said, I'd rather wait until this guy attacks, either throwing knives, throwing boxes, throwing a barrel like it happened in the first stage, before getting to attack them myself. I think the hearts is basically the power your power that is increasing. At first I always got it confused, like hearts with your health, but your health is the one up there after the 1P, one player thing. Yeah, when they crouch is basically, yeah, see, there are extra moves that get added. Again, I wasn't really aware of these things back then when I played it. And as I mentioned before, this is the boss of the second stage, but now it's basically a common enemy, and that's usually what happens in a shit ton of beat-em-ups in the 80s and 90s. A guy that used to be the boss becomes a regular enemy and you fight him all the time, like this one right here. Common enemy or not, still very aggressive. Well, speaking of being aggressive, I wonder if you can get extra lives. From points, at least. Okay, I see the camera is not helping much. It's like, I'm trying to get back a little. To see if I can see more of the stage itself. Yeah, this part is the tricky part. Yeah, I could have died there. I mean, I'm about to die regardless. I would have preferred to avoid getting hit after making the jump. Yeah, you make the jump by pressing kick. Well, the two buttons at the same time. Kick and punch. And I saw this coming. I saw this coming, unfortunately. This is definitely my least favorite part out of this game. Dude, if I would have done that before, a double punch, which is basically a jump kick, I would have avoided some unnecessary suffering. Well, now these regular enemies are becoming more aggressive, in general. And unfortunately this game doesn't have a continuous system, which, even though this is a classic and a very prized game in general, praised, not priced, I don't know how cheap or expensive it is these days. But yeah, I was talking about praising. Oh yeah, this is where the two abobos appear. Okay, you keep increasing your rank, your power, even though I lost 2 lives. Well, I can do a full sequence of attacks before getting hurt in the process. And as you can see, got a game over. I literally lasted 10 minutes. Alright, let's go to mode B, which is the fighting part. Well, Billy is your main character, and the rest are enemies. Will, Roper, Linda, which I assume is the one that has the whip, Chin, which is, if I'm not mistaken, well, I assume by the haircut, the boss of the second stage, and a Bobo, a classic. I guess I'm gonna take a quick look at every character. It's basically a one-on-one, always fighting against your clone, a mirror match. And for some reason, yes, the sprites actually do look bigger for every character. They look slightly different than in the main beat 'em up game. Unfortunately, it's not as fair as I would have preferred or as I would have liked. I found a couple of little strats to fight some of these guys, and I managed to beat them with lots of effort, plenty of difficulty. So I'm gonna try every character once, but I'm not gonna try to win every battle, because that's not gonna happen. And now if I win this one with Billy, would be really satisfying, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It's actually the first time I play this mode. As Billy. Yeah, when I was testing, I actually tried a Bobo and somebody else. Don't remember who. And I could never beat a Bobo, and the other guy, yes, I could beat it, but with plenty of effort. Yeah, I think this is like the same strat as the other guy. Basically moving down or up, wait until he comes. As gross as that sounded. And give you some kicks, or at least the attack with the most range. But I'm pretty much dead. I mean, one more attack or a couple more. Well, he's also about to die. But regardless of who dies first, you always get this music, like the game over music, and you just get to the title screen. So there is no actual sense of progression. It's a one-on-one battle, and whoever wins first, it's game over. That's it. I guess this is one of the enemies. But yeah, my strat is always the same. Move down and up and wait until the guy is right in front of me and try to kick him. Okay, apparently in the case of this enemy in particular, seems to be a little bit more consistent than in the case of Billy. And I suppose I get better priority for my kicks, well, except in there. Of course I have to open my stupid ass mouth. CPU always has more health than you do. So that's another reason why it's not really that fair, but I guess that's the challenge. It's not unplayable, at least. I mean, I've seen ports of famous fighting games on the Game Boy that were less playable than this, like Mortal Kombat 1, for example. See, it seems like I've been doing a lot more damage, and we practically had the same health. This is not a guaranteed victory, because sometimes the CPU can get shitty, and as you can see now, he's attacking like crazy. But I have pretty good chances to win. And there you have it. But you don't get a fanfare or something like that. You get the same game over music and then taken back to the start. Roper. I'm gonna keep using the same strat. I'm not gonna change anything in that regard. Okay, the kick is much slower for this guy, so how about punching? Yeah, but he's very reactionary. Okay, I don't think that I'm gonna win this one at all. I can basically hit him once with the kicks, but it's not a guarantee for anything, unfortunately. At least I can get a little feel for each character. It's actually interesting the fact that you see the sprites of the very same characters, but bigger. Actually, it could be more aggressive just with punches. The problem is that I realized that a little too late. You know what? I'm gonna give it another go with this character just to see if we can apply this principle that I told you about being able to punch him more. Basically, this is, in other words, brute forcing in one way or another. I meant to punch, not to kick. Yeah, but my quote-unquote strat is basically the same. Wait until he gets to the same level as myself and then see if I can land hits. But it's not consistent. CPU usually gets better priority. Actually, the kicking, my kicking could be better as a start and then do the punching. But like I said, it's not consistent. So regardless of what happens here, I'm gonna move on to the next character. What about cornering enemies? It's kind of interesting, you can apply some of these quote-unquote strats. Some of these combinations might seem like could work out. Dude, see? Now that I'm sort of doing it a little bit better, I feel pretty bad about not finding out these techniques before. Anyway, we're moving on. I'll be personally really satisfied if out of the 6 catchers, we at least win 2 fights. Well, I already won 1. And I believe I still haven't fought the character in which I can potentially win the second one. Which is not Linda. Linda looks much bigger here, and somehow I'm winning. Apparently she got like the same energy as myself. Okay, I'm somehow doing it. Let's see if that lasts. Wow. Yeah, spamming punches like crazy. Apparently each enemy got some weakness, if you will. Even in the middle of that jump kick. That's very broken. Wow, that was quick. That was the fastest fight yet. And the easiest, without a doubt. Okay, I should be happy with that, but I still want to try the other 2 characters. What about Chin? Oh yeah, this is the one I tested out. And this one is basically like the technique I told you. Wait until he gets on the same level as myself and do these lower kicks, which is basically the only type of kick he does, he performs. But this one takes a while though, that's the problem. It's like generally consistent. It gets super crazy by the end. And if you can corner him, all the better. And I see that like the music changes from the different fights. Some of them repeat. But at least we deal with some variety in the music. Okay, now he's getting super aggressive because he's basically right next to me. he's still winning. Alright, this fight, even if I lose it in my first attempt, I'm gonna try it again, because I know I can win this one. We practically have the same health. I really need to build some advantage here. Okay. Why did I stop? And apparently cornering him is not a terrible idea. He got stuck. Are you serious? No, he's getting more aggressive. Yeah, right now I'm winning. But I have to keep doing the same thing, not relax. And not let him change sides, because... well, it doesn't matter. I won. 3 fights. I'm pretty good with this. But I of course I want to try a Bobo. And see if I can discover some sort of strat to beat him. Okay, the size of a bow is the same as in the main game. No difference. Oh, look at that, the kicking thing is working as well. But he got a shit ton of health. The battle with Linda was kind of the most fair of them all. Well, it was the one that I finished the first. Or the fastest. Yeah, cornering enemies is like a double-edged sword, as expected. So it's really tempting to keep like attacking him. Alright, let's... Actually, the first strat was actually working much better. This is basically the strat that has allowed me to win the 3 fights from before. Well, except Linda, which was just spamming the punch button. Actually, this works pretty well. Well, even with this quote-unquote strat, I know that I'm doing something much different from spamming. Just basically move up and down. Alright, the enemy got a slight advantage. Now I'm winning by a little bit. And now we are tied again. We always like do each other damage equally every time we encounter. Oh no, he's getting more aggressive now. Okay, this was my practice battle and I lost every time. So I won 4 out of 6. Dude, I feel super accomplished, super satisfied. So guys, that was Double Dragon for the NES. I hope you enjoyed.